Alright, this video is based on a response from a message I received, and I want to make a video. I was writing back, but it's taking too much time to write, and it's easier to express it verbally. Alright, my teachings are being misunderstood. Alright, as far as the opportunity that I'm giving for somebody that wants the opportunity for martial art training, for, becoming a disciple, training to be a sifu, right? There's a saying in Tao, about filling the cup and then emptying the cup. Alright. The opportunity that I'm giving somebody that's interested is for me to be your shisu, like your teacher, in the martial arts and in life in general, training you body, mind, and spirit, training you towards becoming a sifu for this art, to help promote this art. The opportunity was in one of my other videos about coming here, staying here, training, and then working, helping to work for the restaurant that me and my wife are planning to open, and training while you work. Alright, now this opportunity is only open to people who wish to help promote this art. Freddie's Modern Kung Fu, wish to become sifus, which wish to work towards becoming sifus. So, in order to do that, the person would have to prove themselves, would have to meet certain requirements, in order for me to basically weed out the people who are serious and the people who aren't. I have physical fitness requirements, red, blue, and black, and they're not that easy to meet. The black level is at a pretty high level. You got to do a certain amount of push-ups and pull-ups and sit-ups and splits at based on your age and gender. That serves a purpose for me to see who's serious, see who's not, to see who really wants to be, to develop themselves physically, mentally, spiritually. This is a martial art. This is my Kung Fu, Freddie's Modern Kung Fu, and there's going to be high standards. Alright, I'm not I'm not just being someone who's being, like a Buddha, like a Jesus, for example, like a Gandhi. They would follow a way, or they would express a better way of living, but they're not martial artists. They may express a better way of living and be like, Buddha will teach you to let go of desire. Jesus will teach you, showing love and compassion, all this stuff. Jesus' criteria would be like, you just have to accept me as the, only son of God or whatever. Buddha is just basically, you have to experience yourself, and then when you compare it to my experience and you see what I see, then that's the way. Don't accept me until you experience it yourself. Now for me, this is not just spiritual. I'm combining the physical as well. I'm combining combat techniques as well. So this is not just, people just say, hey, I see what you see, and hey, now we're family. Really, we are all family. If you look at it in the bigger context, the whole humanity is our family. Yes, that's true. We are family. But it is obvious that there's some people we're closer to, some people we're not. It is obvious the way the structure of society is. We got the mother and father. They would have their own children and take care of their own children. It's not realistic to believe that people out there are just taking care of everybody, that everything's just shared completely, where there's no private property and all this other stuff. So basically what I'm saying is that I cannot open up my home for anybody to come over just because they say, hey, you know, I see what you see, now I'll come over as a friend. Now the word friend has already been distorted by the society. Now people call each other friends when they're not even really friends, and then that ends up destroying the whole label as friend. You know, really, you know, anybody could add me as a friend on Facebook, but they're not really friends. Anybody could add me as a friend on YouTube, but they're not really friends. People can know my name, but they're not friends. They're not really friends. People see somebody for one time or a few times, this person went to class with them, and then they call them their friends. Really, the whole label has been destroyed. Now, I'm looking to build a close relationship, and that's basically what I'm referring to. You know, if anything, the whole humanity can be labeled as friends. The whole humanity can be labeled as our family. But it is obvious there's some people that we grow close to and some people we don't. And that takes time and communication. Now, I could be a guide. I could be your teacher, and I don't even have to meet you face to face. Just like Bruce Lee, Osho, Lao-Tzu, I never met them face to face, but they're one of my many guides through life. And I never met them face to face, but they're, you know, my guides. They're, you know, in a sense, like my masters, my teachers. And I could serve to be that. And that's why I put out these videos, to serve as a guide, to help, you know, to point. I'm pointing my finger towards the moon to help you see the moon. You know, just like Bruce Lee would say. And there's, you know, a bunch of people pointing the finger at the moon just from different directions. Socrates would point towards the moon. Bruce Lee would point towards the moon. Tupac would point towards the moon. Or Osho would point towards the moon. Lao-Tzu would point towards the moon. I'm also pointing towards the moon. Now, there's no need to be attached to me or any of these other people. Actually, there's even no need to even meet. You know, we're kind of just enjoying our time in this world alone, actually. We're all alone, and we're basically just enjoying our experiences alone. But then there's the society, the way that the structure is. I can't just let anybody into my private home think, you know, them coming in is just, oh, I'm just your friend. Because if anything, there might be hundreds of thousands of people that would want to come by. There has to be a way to weed out people to see who is real, who's not, who's serious, who's not serious. And that's the reason of why there's the process. There's the process of getting from the beginning all the way towards the end, and once you get to the end, then you can empty your cup. So meaning, back to the story with the teacup. You fill up the tea, you know, the cup with the tea, and then you pour it out, and then you fill it up again. Now, filling up the cup is the process. Without filling up the cup, there's nothing to empty. You need to fill up the cup. Even Osho, he read over 35,000 books. He needed to fill up the cup, and then he emptied it. Then he dropped identification with all of the past knowledge, all of the degrees and all that other stuff. Osho got a PhD. Then he burned it. But he still went through the process to get the PhD. To go through the process of getting that understanding and then dropping it. And that's how I designed my art. You got to go through the process to be a Sifu. You can't just be, okay, I'm just above the Sifu right now without even effort. You need to go through everything. If you accept me as a Shisu, then I can help you through that process. And through that process is when we build our relationship. Like a closer bond. Without going through that process, we don't have that close bond. So the person anybody would just be just like everybody else to me. They might be a friend, a fan, family, whatever. It's just a bunch of people that humanity. It's just humanity, basically. But there's the people that you get really close to, and then there's the humanity on the outside of where it could potentially grow close, but that takes time to develop. And what I'm saying is that in my life, I don't have that much time. I gotta work to make money, to pay bills. I gotta take care of my children, and things of that nature. So my life is basically, making money to survive and practicing practicing art. And basically, anybody else that wants to get closer to me would have to basically be somehow affiliated with what I'm doing. Otherwise, I don't have that luxury to just spend time freely without other responsibilities I need to fulfill. And that's why I'm making an opportunity like this, is because it's just providing an opportunity. I don't care if anybody takes it or they don't. It's just the fact of just having the opportunity is sufficient for me. Where this is what I'm offering, to serve as a shisu for you. But if that's not what you are interested in, then that's fine. I'm not here to push anybody to do anything. Actually, I'm here to express my art. And I'm basically seeing if anybody else wants to work with me to express this way in order to represent what I view as true martial arts. If nobody wants to work with me, then that's fine. I'll just keep doing it on my own. But those that are interested, then you need to go through the process. You need to train your body to be very athletic. You need to gain the understanding and learn how to apply the combat techniques. That's what makes you a martial artist, aside from just an artist. Alright? And then you need to develop the spirit. So it all comes together. And that's what I'm trying to represent in the martial arts. I really don't have time for friends. As far as I don't have time to spend with people face to face, really, because there's a lot of things that I gotta do. I basically have to train myself. I gotta take care of my family. I gotta make money to survive. I really don't have much time to spend with people face to face. But what I do have time for is to maybe put up a video really quick of teaching what I feel like teaching, and basically maybe sending messages back and forth, just quick messages to communicate with people in that way. But as far as spending time with people face to face, this is the society we live in, and at this point in my life, I'm going to spend as much time as I possibly can to those who are the most closest to me, such as, my wife and my children, and the few close friends that I've developed throughout my life. But as far as anybody else getting close to me in that way, the opportunity is through this training. Through that training, that's what's going to build our relationship, to make our connection stronger. But without going through that training together, there's no foundation to building what I would consider family. It is necessary for that process to take place, in order to transcend it. So you need to fill the cup and then empty it. You can't just have an empty cup and that's nothing else. You need to build the ego first, crystallize the ego, and then drop it. That's how my training functions.